Let me tell you about this freaky thing that happened to me when I was diving near this old shipwreck. There I was, swimming around, just looking for some cool stuff to check out, and man, did I find something I wish I hadn't. I spotted this door on the side of the ship, all rusted up and barely hanging on. I figured, why not give it a shot? So I managed to pry it open, and as soon as I did, I got the chills down my spine. Obviously, the inside of the room was messed up to say the least, but there were scratch marks all over the walls, like someone had been clawing their way out. The marks looked fresh too, like it had just happened. It's as if the seawater hadn't had any effect on the markings. My mind started racing, thinking about any poor crew members that could have been trapped in there, fighting for their life. It was creepy as hell, man. I couldn't help but imagine the terror they must have felt, stuck in that tiny room with no way out. I could almost hear the screams echoing in my head. I mean, who knows what they were trying to escape from? Maybe it was a flood or some other disaster. It's like the room itself was telling a horror story. I snapped some pictures to document the whole thing, but I couldn't stay in there for long. I wasn't sure if my mind was playing tricks, but the water felt as though it had just gotten colder. I swam out of there as fast as I could, my heart racing and my mind playing tricks on me. Now I don't know what's happened on that ship or who was locked away in that room, but it's the kind of stuff that makes you question what else is out there beneath the waves. It's a reminder that sometimes the scariest things aren't the creatures or the deep dark unknown. It's the remnants of human desperation that leave a mark. So I've got to tell you about this creepy as hell thing that happened to me while I was diving. I was exploring this underwater cave system, just me and my buddy searching for some cool stuff. We heard rumours about this hidden chamber deep inside, filled with ancient artifacts and maybe even some skeletons. And man, let me tell you, it did not disappoint. As we made our way through the dark, narrow tunnels, the water getting colder and the air feeling thicker, it felt like we were stepping into another world. The place was dead silent, except for the sound of our own breathing echoes in our ears. It gave me the heebie-jeebies, but I was too curious to turn back. Finally, we reached this massive chamber, and as soon as we shone our flashlights around, we were froze in our tracks. There were these old relics scattered all over the place, like pottery shards, rusted weapons and strange-looking statues. It was like stumbling upon a museum of the damned. But that's not even the worst part. Mixed in with those artifacts were human remains. There were skeletons just lying there among the relics. It was like stumbling upon a mass grave or something. My heart started beating fast, my breath quickened. Who were these people? How did they end up here? And am I the first person to discover this place? The air in the chamber felt heavy, like a weight on my chest, and the silence was suffocating. We tried to piece together the puzzle, looking for any clues to see if it was a burial or ritual site. But there was nothing, no answers, just a chilling sense of loss and abandonment. We got out of there as fast as we could, the feeling of dread pushing us to the surface. The dive back was nerve-wracking. I couldn't help but glance back every few seconds, half expecting something to follow us, like we had disturbed some ancient curse awakening the spirits of the forgotten. Too much movies, I know. Even now, when I close my eyes, I see those skeletal remains, and the weight of that discovery hangs heavy on my conscience. It's like I've stepped into a secret world, a long-forgotten civilization that history forgot. I've got a bone-chilling story to share about this time I went diving and stumbled upon a sunken submarine. Let me tell you, it was like diving into the depths of insanity. So picture this, I'm swimming around exploring this old submarine, hoping to find something cool, and boy did I find something alright. As soon as I made my way through the dimly lit corridors, I noticed these strange writings all over the walls. They were like cryptic messages all scribbled out in a mad frenzy. Now, I ain't no code breaker or nothing, but even I could tell these messages were something messed up. They were full of gibberish symbols and words that didn't make a lick of sense. It was like the crew had lost their minds, spiraling into madness. The more I read those messages, the more my skin crawled. It was as if the very essence of despair and insanity was trapped in that sunken metal tomb. I could almost hear the whispers echoing through the silent halls with every creak of the metal. It was messing with my head. It felt like the walls themselves were alive, holding secrets of a doomed crew. I didn't stick around for long, let me tell you. The air inside was thick with dread, like a weight on my chest. I swam back up to the surface, gasping for fresh air. To this day, I can't shake off the feeling that I witnessed something unnatural down there. The crew's descent into madness, their tortured souls trapped in that submarine. I was out photographing marine life at night. Brace yourselves, because this one still gives me the goosebump. So there I was, deep in the darkness of the ocean, camera in hand, trying to capture some cool shots. The water was pitch black, and I could barely see a thing, but that didn't stop me. I was determined to get that perfect shot. I snapped away, flashing my camera into the abyss, hoping to catch a glimpse of something amazing. And my, did I get more than I bargained for. When I reviewed the photos later, my eyes welled up and my hairs stood on end. Among the mesmerizing marine life, I spotted something that made my heart skip a beat. There, in one of the shots, lurked this eerie figure. It was blurred and I couldn't make it out with the lack of light, but its face was pale and distorted, almost human-like from what I could see. It looked to have a long tail, and the worst part, it was staring right into the camera. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was like I had captured a glimpse of something supernatural, something that shouldn't exist in our world. It was like I had stumbled upon a secret that was meant to stay hidden. If I was to rationalize it, it could have been a trick of light, a deep-sea creature that had ventured too far, or some kind of optical illusion. But deep down, I knew it was something more, something that lurked in the depths beyond our comprehension. I still dive to this day, but every time I do a night dive, I can't help but wonder if I encounter that eerie figure again, or if it will still be watching me from afar. Beneath the waves, there's a world we barely understand, a world where darkness and light, and both beauty and unknown horrors lurk, waiting to be discovered. This one's all about a crazy adventure I had while searching for a rumoured underwater treasure. Trust me, it's a story you won't forget. So me and my buddies had heard these wild rumours about this treasure hidden beneath the waves. We were all pumped, thinking we were going to strike it rich, or at the very least have a feeling what it was like to be Indiana Jones if Indiana Jones was to wear a wetsuit. Little did we know what we was getting ourselves into. We dove into the depths, exploring the ocean floor, looking for any signs of treasure. And then we stumbled upon it. Peculiar underwater vortex. This thing was freaky. It defied all laws of nature, pulling in objects and letting out this haunting hum. I tell you, we were mesmerized and scared at the same time. We watched in awe as the vortex sucked in rocks, plants, and anything that came close. It was like a cosmic vacuum. But here's the thing. All of us felt as though it was getting harder to breathe. We debated whether to go back and leave, but greed and curiosity got the better of us. We convinced ourselves that the vortex was a sign, like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But in this instance, it was the treasure being protected by an underwater vortex. We had the desire and hunger for unimaginable wealth. So, we got closer, cautiously, fear raging inside. As we reached the edge of the vortex, it felt like time slowed down. We could hear whispers in the water, like 1,000 voices begging us to turn back. But we were too stubborn, too consumed by our desires. What happened next has stayed with me forever. One of my buddies reached out to touch the vortex, and before we knew it, he was pulled in. It happened so fast we barely had the time to react. The vortex swallowed him whole, like he was nothing but another rock on the ocean floor. Our screams were muffled, but there was nothing we could do. The vortex had taken him. We swam for our lives, fear giving us strength we didn't know we had. What was a childish hunt for treasure turned into a tragic fight for survival. No amount of wealth is worth the price we paid that day. That vortex was a warning that some things are better left untouched, and some treasures are better off forgotten. And as we come to the end of these bone-chilling tales from the depths, let us remember that beneath the surface lies a world of mystery and wonder. While the ocean may hold its share of darkness and hidden terrors, it also reminds us of the importance of respecting the unknown. So, embrace curiosity, but tread carefully.